On the morning of April 30th, 1975, a column of 7 North Vietnamese tanks rolled down Saigon's deserted streets and crashed through the gates of the South Vietnam presidential palace. A soldier leapt from the lead tank and raised the red, blue, and yellow flag. The Vietnam War was over.
We call Saigon, but officially we write on the paper, on the document, everything we write Ho Chi Minh City. But when you write Saigon, we have a big problem with the government. Yes. There's a few hundreds of tanks like this on the way coming to Saigon in the last day. So the last guy on the helicopter, he saw outside of Saigon, 40 kilometers away, all tank coming to Saigon. That's the NBA. North Vietnam Army, official army from the north. We got it. And the president, he decided to rebuild this palace, and he used the best Vietnamese architecture. And that Vietnamese architecture, he learned it in France, in Paris. It was the best Vietnamese architecture during the war time. And this palace, they built 95 rooms. 95 rooms in the palace. There was about 300 people stay and work in the palace. You know, a different room and gambling, theater and meeting room and dining room. And underground basement, they got 2 layers in the basement. First layer about 2.5 meters deep, and the second layer about 4 meters deep. With a very thick wall, you know, with concrete, with steel. Bomb 500 pounds couldn't destroy that bunker. So in the bunker, all the radio stations, you know, they could talk to Washington D.C. from here. 50 American engineers, with Saigon engineers, stay control the radio station. But now only cell phone you can talk to Washington.
I am deep in the bunker, 2 floors down, 3 floors underground. It can withstand a 500-pound bomb. And this is where the president and the officials would bunker when there was a raid.
I'll try to 700, 379. Finish with the election. China, no.
in the bunker. Yeah. I'm at the Ho Chi Minh Museum in Saigon, or Ho Chi Minh City now, and it's a museum of artifacts, early on technology and technology then they gained through the war, and all the remnants of the war, the technology that the U.S. left behind, they gathered it all and then created their own economy. And it became quite high-tech, all the way from portable radios ending up being satellites. Very interesting. 1975 it all started.
Yeah. Can I? No.
As you enter the museum, there's a certain somberness about it. Historical truths, well, they told a story, but not necessarily the story. Some of the displays were very much slanted towards the Vietnam regime, but it was a very somber place, a very contemplative situation, and a lot of reverence by the visitors.
Horrible pictures about Agent Orange and what it did to deformed newborns. This is a pictorial display of the effects on newborns of Agent Orange. I decided not to do close-ups. Very disturbing.
This room is a display about the war crimes committed by the U.S. according to the Vietnamese Communist Party. Total BS. This is the famous picture of a young girl fleeing her village after being torched by napalm dropped by a South Vietnamese Air Force. I just toured the museum, the War Relics Museum of Vietnam. Very interesting. However, it was a story and most likely not the story. It was obviously written by the Vietnamese, the Communist Party that's in power today, and they tell a little bit different story about what the American involvement was and so on. But it was very graphic, gut-wrenching in some points with some of the pictures of the fighting, the battles, the impossible situation that our armed services went through in terms of fighting with the Viet Cong in the rice paddies and in the jungles. There was ambushing going all over the place. There was even a lot of killing of Americans by
friendly fire. As they were in the swamps and in the rice paddies, they were mistaken for Viet Cong. They did their best to wave off the planes and the helicopters. Some were not so fortunate. The Agent Orange situation was very graphic, very disturbing. They had to use the Agent Orange to kill the foliage so that they were able to expose the Viet Cong, but obviously the after effects of that terrible chemical, both on Americans and on the Vietnamese, which caused problems for birth defects and so on. But all in all, it was a very interesting museum, and my friend Rambo is here to gather us for the bus. Interesting museum.
Yeah.
However, a lot of propaganda.
A lot of propaganda.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll know the next time we put up a new video. Thank you for watching.